Milorganite. A few reasons why you might want to consider not ever putting this on your lawn.
Did you know that it's got lead and arsenic in it?
I don't use it on my lawn, and there's a bunch of reasons why we're going to talk about today. I think this fertilizer, frankly, is just way overhyped, and there's better options out there. And when you consider the negatives that come with the positives, I think it's a clear choice that this really isn't a great fertilizer to use all year round. But I'm going to give you the solutions to the problems or suggest some alternatives that'll help you compensate for the downsides of this. Right off the bat, if you're looking for something from the store as an alternative, I'd recommend you go to like a Home Depot and pick up this Lesco product. It's got a great mix of good sources of nitrogen and potassium for your lawn. Of course, I recommend doing a soil test to figure out exactly what you need, but that's a great all-purpose kind of fertilizer that I would use up and above this. Let's talk about the first downside to this product, which is it's an organic biosolid. Organic tends to mean better, especially for our health and things like that. But when you have an organic biosolid like Milorganite, you need adequate soil temperatures and you need adequate soil moisture. And that helps promote the microbial activity in your soil, which is a requirement for getting this broken down. This has to be broken down before your grass can use it. It's not something that's instantly available. So if you're looking for something that will give you quick, fast results, then Milorganite is probably not the best option. You might want to look into using a liquid product. Liquids tend to be a little bit quicker, so that might be a better choice for your lawn if you're looking at doing something with quicker results. Now, if you're looking for absolute quickest results possible, go with something like ammonium sulfate. Ammonium sulfate is a fertilizer that is immediately available to your plants. It's what I use on my lawn, and I use the soluble form mixed up with water, and I spray it as a liquid on my lawn to help get the quickest results that I can.
Now, even though this is an organic biosolid fertilizer, did you know that it's got lead and arsenic in it? And it's clearly documented right on the Milorganite site. This is not something I'm just making up. It does say that they have, amounts of lead and arsenic that are below the EPA threshold for what's acceptable. But if somebody gave me something and said, hey, do you want this? It's got lead and arsenic in it. I mean, I'm going to go with no right off the bat and try to look for something else that doesn't have those ingredients in it. Instead, maybe look for something like a synthetic fertilizer that doesn't have those things in it, or just do some research with the fertilizers that you are applying and make sure there's no heavy metals or anything that you don't want to put on your lawn and into your soil. While we're on the topic of things that are in the bag that we don't necessarily want, one thing you need to realize is the analysis of this fertilizer is a 640, which means it's got 4% phosphorus in it. And in some cases, like when you're seeding a new lawn or when you're trying to establish a new lawn or you have some documented soil deficiencies of phosphorus, it can be appropriate to apply those to your lawn. But in general, you want to try to look for fertilizers that actually don't have this in it, because when it runs off into the waterways, it can create algae problems. You can check out this article here that Michigan State University posted that discourages residents of the state of Michigan like myself from really applying anything that's got phosphorus in it unless you have those specific use cases. You can supplement with other things if you're concerned about the root growth. There's two things you can apply that would really help with that. Sea kelp, that's got plant hormones in it to actually help promote driving the roots. And then you could also even look at humic acid. Both of those things have been documented to help with plants building root mass. I personally like to use the CK product from Greene County Fertilizer. And even though you've got that phosphorus in there, it's a 640, which means there's no potassium in there. Potassium's a pretty common deficiency. I have potassium deficiency in my lawn, and it's one of those macronutrients that your lawn really needs to help survive those stressful situations and promote all-around plant health. So you're not getting any of that with Milorganite. I'd rather look at a fertilizer like that one we mentioned earlier from the Home Depot, or if you really want to take it up a notch, what I like to use is sulfate of potash. It's a really, really highly concentrated form of potassium. This year I'm actually trying some stuff that you can spray. You can dissolve into a mixture and spray. It's been working out really good. You can get it in a granular form, and you can get it in a sprayable liquid form too. Those would be really good options. You don't get any of that with Milorganite. People really used to love Milorganite because it was so cheap too. I have seen prices way under $10 a bag, but nowadays you're looking at $20 a bag, upwards of that, and they only cover about 2,500 square feet per bag. When you weigh that out against the cost of some other fertilizers, whether you're talking about stuff you can get locally or stuff you can get online, nutrient value wise, pounds on the ground value wise, Milorganite's actually pretty expensive. Really just make me want to look for something else. People love this Milorganite because of the iron that it's got in it, but there are much better sources of iron that are on the market that give you quicker results. And in my last video, kind of debunked ironite and why it's not really a great source of iron to turn your lawn super dark green. And I give you a recipe over there on something that's much cheaper and gives you results practically overnight. So who wouldn't want that? Dark green grass overnight? So go check that video out and I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching.